Hello folks, welcome to weekly vlog number 10. You can hear Marvin squeaking in the background because we're about to go on holiday. It is Friday the 6th of September. We are about to set off for a week in the beautiful Snowdonia, or Eryri as it should most correctly be said these days. So about 2 to 3 hour trip over there. So I will catch you when we get there. Hello folks, made it to Wales. Got here about an hour ago, something like that. So I've just been unpacking and such like. It's hot, it's very hot here, although it will chill off as the week goes on. But I'm going to try and use the good weather and get up early and go and climb a mountain tomorrow, I think. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Plan for this evening is probably have some tea and fall asleep. I might try and listen to an audiobook for a bit. I did start Children of Memory last night and got a little bit of the way into that. So far very good, only about a couple of hours in, but yeah, so far excellent. So yeah, carry on with that at some point. But yes, so this is us installed for the week, and there'll be plenty of trips out, as well as hopefully plenty of reading. I'm going to try and get through a lot of shorties this week whilst I'm away, because I'll have like bits and pieces of time to kind of grab here and there to read some stuff. But there will be plenty of nice things to show you as well, nice things to see on our days out. So yes, a couple of bits to catch you up on from last week. Seeing as I didn't get a vlog out, last week turned into a bit of a mission getting stuff finished for work and things like that before we came away, so I decided to call it on the videos and the vlogging and just kind of have a week off. But I'll show you a couple of the bits that I got up to last week, because again we had a couple of nice trips out. The weekend we managed to finally get out and see some of that lovely heather that's just on the moors, just over from where we live. We literally just went over the ridge and had a little potter up to a trig point and took in some of that lovely purple that we'd been waiting to see kind of all season really. And then on my wife's birthday we went over to Chatsworth House. This is a big old estate house in Derbyshire that some of you will recognise from Pride and Prejudice, the film with Keira Knightley, and we wandered around the gardens there. We didn't go in the house, we just wandered around the gardens, took in some of the strange sort of sculptures and these strange heads, things like that. It was a bit rainy, it wasn't the best day for it, but we had a nice time anyway. We got into the maze there, which we haven't been to in years. Didn't get too lost, took us a little longer than it probably should have done to complete it. And then went for a potter around the rock garden, which is one of my favourite areas of the park, looking at all the topiary and ponds and lots of different sort of plants and stuff like that. And then back up to the house and finishing the day off with a cherry cola float, which is one of my favourites. So that's pretty much caught up. I did no reading last week whatsoever. I had a proper break once I'd finished Garb August. I just didn't want to read, and I was tired, and I was working in the evenings as well a bit, so I just didn't read much. And the reason why I didn't bother with a vlog last week, because there wasn't really much to tell you on the reading side of things. That's enough blather from me, I think. I will go and start some tea off. I have another cup of tea as well, and I will catch you tomorrow. Good morning, folks. It's Saturday morning and I'm just about to go up a mountain in Snowdonia. The one behind me that you can't quite see because it's a little bit misty at the moment. It will clear off apparently by about 9 o'clock, and it's currently about 8:15. I've just come up from the village about a quarter of an hour away, something like that, away from my start. So just about to start the slog up. This is, by the way, Moel Ebog, this mountain that I'm going up today, and I might, depending on energy, continue on along the chain that it's in and do 2 more summits as well. Whilst I'm up there, might as well, if I can be bothered, if I've got the energy, and that will be Moel Irogoff and Moel Leven as well, so we'll see. But the main one is Ebog, that's the biggest. Not massive, but still a decent size. And if the mist clears, I should get some decent enough views as well, so fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, get up there whilst it's still cool, because it's going to get warm later on, and also whilst there's no one else around, because at the moment I'm yet to see somebody. So I'll try and get up there and get the summit to myself for a bit. You know, you follow me. Sun's coming out, which means it's getting hot as well. Whew. It's quite a steep pull up, that. It's come from down there. You should be able to see the path going down. Well, I've come up. Yeah. Whew. The mist appears to have closed in somewhat. I am heading up there. Okay, this is my view right now. I'm going somewhere up there. Somewhere up there. I know there's a drop off just over there. Kind of helps me not to be able to see it, to be fair. I have a fear of heights. That's my current view. So it's a good job I know how to route find. It's not too bad. There is a path, but it does split off a little bit and it's a bit scrambly and stuff, so it is a little bit pick your own path, choose your own adventure. So yeah, but it's fun. I'm just like, you are liars, weather people. You are weather liars again. Because this was not forecast. Even on the mountain forecast, it was not forecast. So just keep going. It's all right. I know I can get myself down all right. It's fine. So yes, keep going up to the summit, and then I'll just sit up there, I think, at the summit and just see if it clears, or sit just before the summit and see if it clears. I'm not that far off now. So yes. Oh well, it's all an adventure, isn't it? there, fellas, ladies. Okay, summit time. Last cairn. Here we go. Here's the summit trig. Okay, I'm having a bit of a chill out at the summit just behind me. I'm gonna call it in a minute, I think, and head down. I'm not gonna try and do the other two summits today because I've got about 5 meters visibility at the moment. So there's not much point in carrying on and doing 2 more summits when I'm gonna get absolutely no views today. So yes, I think I'll head down and have a little potter through the woods, through the forest, which is nice. So I think I'll just call it for today. Weather liars, absolute liars. Ooh, hello folks, I'm back down in the forest. Got all of the disgusting, boggy, slippy, foul bits done. There is a little bit of sun coming out. I still can't see the tops of things very well, but there is a bit of sun coming out. Although it's so flipping hot, it's like humid, really humid. It's like walking through a rainforest, that, when I was coming down through the forest a bit. I'm just on a big track now through the forest, but it's easy walking at least. So yeah, not the best day in the hills I've ever had. Going up there was, even without the added hazards of visibility or lack thereof, that path was quite sketch in places. So yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, as I say, kind of feels a little bit wasted in terms of like, I'm not one to go up a mountain just to say I've been up it. If I'm making the effort to go up, I want to actually get something for my effort at the top, which is views. Which is why I generally try and pick days where the forecast is good. The forecast was good. The forecast was wrong. So hey ho, it's the way it goes. Mountain weather, you never know what's going to happen. So yes, so I'm going to march my way back to Bedgellet now, where my missus will be waiting to pick me up in the car, go to Tesco's, get some food for the next few days, and then go back home and chill out. And if I've got the energy, if I don't just fall asleep, I will read a book for a bit, I think. So yes, right, I'll catch you later. Evening folks, it is about 9 o'clock and I am beat. Got back from my walk and slept and had tea and nearly slept again, so I'm calling it. I'm going to bed. I think I might stick on Children of Memory, the audiobook of Children of Memory, for a little while before I go to sleep, because that's very good and I do want to continue on with it. But I doubt I'll get much read, or much listened to rather. So I will pick it up properly again, probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a pretty crappy weather day, I think. So we'll probably have a trip out to the beach with Marvin and go and get an ice cream, because I can eat ice cream in any weather, and have a bit of a chill day. So I'll probably get down to some actual proper reading tomorrow. A bit more of Children of Memory and some shorties for Shorty September as well. So yes, so for tonight I shall say good night and catch up on some sleep, because I was up at 5:30 this morning to start my walk, and as I say, I am knackered. So yes, so I will catch you tomorrow. So Sunday was a very, very lazy day. The weather turned dramatically, so we basically just got a trip out to the beach down at Black Rock Sands, which is really not far from where the cottage is, maybe 15 minutes away, and gave Marv a run on the rather gloomy beach, but he doesn't mind. He was having fun. And the rest of the day we just kind of sat around and read a bit. I got through one book, which I will go into a bit more in tomorrow's wrap-up. But yes, we both sat around just reading a couple of novellas. And then after our trip on the beach, we went back via Criccieth to the ice cream shop and had an ice cream. This one is Kinder Bueno and cookie dough, both of which are excellent. So that was Sunday. Morning folks, it is Monday. The sun is out. It's a bit windy, but the sun is shining. So we're going to go and try and get Marv up a mountain today. So fingers crossed we actually get some views today. So yes, so I shall take you along with us. So we started the walk from Llanberis, which you can see there in the distance where all the mines are, the old mining works. That's Snowdon in the cloud. And we walked part of the Slate Trail, which is a walk that I've done before, about 70 miles, long distance path, and slogged our way up that first bit. Went up as far as the quarry that I reached on the Slate Trail, and then turned off to go rather harshly uphill towards the first summit of the day, which is Moel Eilio, which is just up there. Quite windy up there, but some cracking views. Very much a contrast to my walk on Saturday. I could actually see the tops of pretty much everything. There wasn't any point at which they were obscured by cloud. Quite windy up there, but not too cold. So yeah, great views, can see all the way around, all the various kind of ranges within North Snowdonia, and got Marv to the top. This is Marv at the top. Not that he cares in the slightest that this is the top. He was too busy sniffing things, but he did brilliantly because he's not been very well in the last few years, and his energy levels are sometimes quite low, so he did fantastically to get to the top. He was a really good boy. We sat and had some lunch and took in the view where you can see everything from Trevan and the Glidders over on the left there, Moel Shabod poking up over the back, Snowdon, obviously that's the big one that takes up most of the shot, and then the next couple of summits that we're doing for the day, in addition to Moel Eilio, and then all the way over in fact to Moel Ebog, which is over in the distance there, which was the one I was up on Saturday, and of course you couldn't see anything then. So at least I got to see the top from this distance, and then I could see the Nansla Ridge, which is the sort of undulating one, and then this big bumpy one in the foreground, which is Mynydd Mawr, or Elephant Mountain. Just kept moseying on our route basically, taking in all of the fantastic views of the lakes and that kind of thing. It's very up and down, this walk. It's referred to, I think, as the Big Dipper, and I can see why, because you just get down a steep bit and then you've got to go up another steep bit. But yeah, Marv did really well with it. Apart from chasing sheep, to be fair, he was a little bit of a pain when it came to the sheep. That's why he's on a lead all the time. And then yeah, it just kind of winds its way back down towards Llanberis through this beautiful valley along this Drovers Road, which I think is still used to get livestock across the mountains, and got a view of the train as well coming back down, the train that goes to the top of Snowdon. And we finished off our day, of course, with an ice cream, a double ice cream from a place in Llanberis. Hello folks, it is Monday evening and I am back from our big old walk in the mountains. We've had some tea, which was leftovers from last night because we really don't have the energy to cook. And now we're just settling down for a chilled night. Probably won't be late to bed tonight. Very long but excellent walk. Cracking views, which you will have seen on my footage. But I thought I would update you on what I read yesterday. I didn't manage to do much filming yesterday, so I thought I would update you on what I got through yesterday, which was this. Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. We had a bit of a chill day yesterday because the weather was poor. Yes, I got through the entirety of that. It's only 114 pages. It's one of my shorties. I loved Lanny when I read that back in March, I think it was, something like that, this year. This one is also excellent, really excellent. Very blackly funny, very moving, quite strange, Some great character work in this again. The character of Crow in this, which is a crow, that comes to kind of help this family out with the grief that they're suffering from a dad and two boys after their mum dies. The character of Crow is brilliant. It's sort of part poetry, part prose, part sort of experimental stuff, but not in kind of a pretentious way at all. Just interesting, different writing. Just Max Porter has a way of, you know, obviously trying stuff, and it works. So yeah, absolutely loved this one again. Not as much as Lanny, I have to say, but I think that's largely because I just didn't connect with it in the same way. I've been in the fortunate position where I've never actually experienced that level of grief before, that kind of loss of a close family member. This makes it, you know, this makes it very sort of relatable and understandable, but I just don't have that personal experience to be able to relate to it. Whereas Lanny, there was not necessarily the experience in the characters, but a lot about the characters that I could relate to, and the setting I could relate to a lot more as well. This is set in London, in a sort of the flat where they live in London. And it's less about environment, whereas Lanny was more about environment for sure, landscape and environment, and folk tales, almost folk horror in some respects. And I think that's what I kind of latched onto with Lanny. But yeah, this one's still absolutely phenomenal writing, and I'm looking forward to getting on to some more Max Porter. My wife read Shy by Max Porter as well whilst I was reading this, so I probably won't get to that this month, but it is absolutely on my list to get to soon, because she said that was excellent as well. She's now going to read Grief is the Thing with Feathers now that I've finished it. So yes, so a really good reading experience, and it's always lovely to finish a book in a day or in a couple of hours in this case. So first, Shorty Down. I am going to crack on with possibly a couple of short stories tomorrow. We're going to have another chill out day tomorrow because A, we're knackered, and B, the weather's going to turn again tomorrow. So probably going to crack on with some more shorty stuff tomorrow. And I'm also going to get started on Authority by Jeff Vandermeer, because I wanted to start that at the weekend and didn't get around to it. So yes, I'm going to crack on with that tomorrow as well, and keep listening to Children of Memory that I'm currently about a third, just over a third of the way into, I think. Adrian Tchaikovsky, the final book in the Children of Time series, which so far is very different again to the other two, but very intriguing and still very good, just very good writing, just really entertaining, really, as I say, mysterious and intriguing. So plenty to be reading tomorrow when I've got another lazy day planned. So that will do from me this evening, I think. I'm going to go and eat cake. Got a nice bit of cake left in the welcome basket at the cottage. So I'm going to have a slice of that and then settle down, probably with some Children of Memory. I think I don't have the eyes for reading tonight, but I think I can manage an hour of listening. So I'll stick that on for a bit, and then probably watch some BookTube videos and fall asleep on the sofa. So yes, so I will catch you more tomorrow when I'm lazing around the cottage, making my way through books. Hello folks, it's Tuesday today. Had a very, very lazy day today. It was flipping awful weather this morning, so we've just lazed around the cottage, done some reading, things like that. And then my wife's just popped out for a nice little jaunt on her own. I had my day out walking on Saturday to myself, so she's taken advantage of the fact that the sun has finally come out and she's been to do a nice little walk that she likes in the mountains this afternoon. So I have been doing more reading. So I've got through a couple of bits today. I've got through quite a bit of this Authority, probably about a quarter of the way through, something like that, just over. Very different to Annihilation in terms of the way that it's written. Obviously continues on, but you know, it's a difference from a very different perspective. Lots more questions about Area X being, you know, kind of popping up all over the place. It's very mysterious. Some really good character work again. I'm really enjoying Vandermeer's kind of character work. And yeah, just the mystery of it. It's, you know, it's we're not into super weird stuff yet. But it's definitely very mysterious. I have no clue where it's going. So far, I'm kind of missing some of the weird environmental stuff that was in Annihilation, the sort of the sciencey side of things. But I think we're going to get to that. There's hints and stuff like that we're going to get into that a little bit more, albeit from a different kind of perspective. But yeah, so I'm enjoying that one so far. And then I have just finished another shorty, which is Goblins and Greatcoats by Travis Baldry. I really enjoyed Travis Baldry's Legends and Lattes and Bookshops and Bone Dust books. So when this popped up as a freebie, in fact, a buddy of mine sent me an email saying, "Oh, you might want to check this out." So I downloaded it. And yeah, that was a very charming little short story. Very, very short. A goblin walks into a bar, basically, and finds herself in the midst of a murder mystery. Two bodies on the floor, and a group of kind of a band of travellers, or a band of kind of, you know, sort of fighters, comrades, you know, that kind of thing. Mercenaries, I guess. All stood around trying to figure out who of their band might have killed these two people. And this goblin gets kind of embroiled in this mystery. It's very entertaining, great quirky character work from Travis Baldry as usual. Funny, definitely funny. And as I say, just a really charming little short story, very much of, you know, Baldry's usual type of stuff. So very much enjoyed that. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've been reading today. I think I'm going to crack on with a bit more of Authority this evening, and probably just keep going with Children of Memory. I'm listening to that, you know, bit at a time when my eyes have done with reading text. So I shall keep going on with that as well. So yeah, so I might check back in with you later if I manage to get through any more reading. Otherwise, I will speak to you tomorrow when we're hopefully going to get a bit better weather, and I'm going to get out, you know, out for a wander myself tomorrow as well. Been very much cottage bound today. So yes, so I will catch you later. Good evening, folks. It is Wednesday evening. Another very lazy day today because the weather's been pretty bad. It's been very off and on, very heavy, but short, sharp rain showers, and very windy. So we spent the morning in the cottage, just reading again. So I have read some more of this Authority. I'm about halfway through now, just over halfway through. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. It's still very different to Annihilation, but we are starting to get more things that link back into things that were discovered in the first book. You know, things that the biologists logged, and lots and lots of questions. It's quite strange, and the characters are all quite interesting. I really like the main character of Control, actually, who's, you know, you are very much seeing it through his eyes, and he's as perplexed about it all as everyone, as we are as readers, I think. And some of the other staff members at Southern Reach are questionable in terms of, you know, what are their agendas, things like that. How much do they know about what's going on? So yeah, so really interesting. So I'm going to keep cracking on with that. Probably not tonight because I'm quite tired. And then a 2-for-1 sale on Audible popped up. And there's tons of stuff in it that is in my wish list. Pretty much all Warhammer. So I will no doubt be adding to my collection of Warhammer audiobooks to get through. Plus a James Herbert, The Secret of Crickley Hall, which is one that I've had on my list for ages. I think probably since like I started with Audible subscriptions a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago now, no, 4 years ago now. So I think I might get that. That would be a good one for some spooky reading in October, I reckon. So yes, so got a few things to figure out what I'm going to buy on in the Audible sale. So I'll keep mulling that over. Then we went out to the beach this afternoon. The weather picked up a little bit, and yeah, we went out and took Marv for a run on the beach down Harlech, which is a little way from us, about 40 minutes, something like that, from where we are. But it's a massive wild beach, and it's beautiful. And it was very much a trip of two halves. The first half, walking down the beach, was lovely sun, windy but lovely sun. Marv ran around, and then it suddenly turned and the wind got up to probably 40-45 miles an hour, and the rain came in and it was horizontal, and it's just funny when it gets like that. It was just ridiculous. So we had fun out there, came back via the ice cream shop in Cricketh, and I had, what did I have today? Oh, cookie dough ice cream. Oh, it was good. It was really good. If you're ever in Snowdonia, or other parts of North Wales, in fact, they have several shops. Do try out Cadwallader's ice cream. It is phenomenal. So yes, did that, came back, had tea, and I'm now going to tune in to Children of Memory, I think, for a bit. I've not got the eyes for reading, but I've definitely got the ears for some listening. So I will crack on with that. The only other thing to tell you is that I think being here in Wales has been really good in terms of just making me rethink some projects that I've had kind of on the back burner for a while. A few years ago, I came and walked the Slate Trail in Snowdonia, which is a circular long distance trail of about 70 miles, something like that. And it didn't go to plan at the time. I was very ill 2 nights in a tent, and had to mess around and change my trip, and didn't get it all completed and have to come back and finish it off another time. And it wasn't the trip that I wanted it to be. And I was always going to make some art or do some writing on it at the time. And I never got round to finishing that, because I think I always felt like it was a bit of a disappointment in terms of what I wanted it to be. It didn't turn out that way. And I think I felt it was a bit of a failure, the trip. Whereas now I've been back here and we've walked some sections, me and my wife and the dog, as part of other walks. It just kind of makes me kind of, you know, fall in love with that whole kind of, this whole area again, and those sections of walk that I did. And it brought back some really fond memories of that trip. Which is really good. So I think now a bit of distance, you know, time has passed, I've got a bit of distance on it. I think it's time to return to that project and make it into something else. You know, and I can kind of look back at it now and see that, you know, I shouldn't be trying to make it something that it wasn't, but actually just celebrate what it was. And actually, it was a really good experience, even if it was an experience of learning how to deal with problems on the trail. That it, you know, yes, it might not have been what I wanted it to be, but what it was still of huge, you know, value to me. So I'm going to return to that when I get back home, and potentially come up with a zine, something like that, for it. Not go all out and try and make it into some big project, but just do something with all of the notes, the video footage that I've got, which is kind of part of my notes, some of the artwork that I started for it, some of the writing that I started for it. I've got a ton of stuff, research and kind of logs and notes and all that kind of stuff, pictures. You know, sat at home in a proverbial drawer, by which I mean a big file on the computer. And so yeah, and it's sat there doing nothing, and it feels wrong to leave it now. So yes, so that is a job for when I get back, is to return to that and see what I can do with it. So a good bit of you know, creative inspiration has come from this holiday as well. So that's always good. Right, I will stop rambling for now and go and put Children of Memory on, and I will speak to you tomorrow. So Thursday we managed to get out for most of the day actually, and we went down to Snowdonia, which I really wanted to go to because this is the setting for my novel, the novel that I'm writing, which is kind of part sort of police procedural, part sort of creature feature, sort of monster, sort of ridiculousness. And I always like to go and walk around here because it always gives me some more inspiration for things to insert into the story. So yeah, had a lovely little walk around here, and I took some notes on my phone and such like, and picked out a few extra spots around the lake that I can use in the story. And as I say, just kind of, you know, took it all in, and took in, you know, the actual vegetation, things like that I can use for description. So yeah, that was really useful actually. That's got me back in the headspace to continue with that. And then we had a little drive round the park, over to a viewpoint where we can see Snowdon from a little car park up in the pass. Stopped off for some more ice cream. This one's honeycomb this time, from a different Cadwalladers in Bettysacoid. And then stopped off at Harlech Beach again for Marv to have a run around. And what a difference it was this evening, how beautiful the weather is compared to what it was yesterday when we were here. But yeah, that was pretty much Thursday. I got home intending to do reading, and once again fell asleep on the sofa. Hey Max. Good morning folks, it's Friday today. It's time to go home, unfortunately. We are all packed up, it's about 9:15, and we're going to get on the road any minute and say goodbye to Wales. We're going to stop somewhere for a little potter on the way out of the park, but then yes, we're going to be heading back over towards Manchester. So it's a beautiful day, sod's law, the day we leave and the day we come. It's been absolutely beautiful weather, but we've not done too badly. We've had a very lovely week, relaxing, got out for some nice walks, and I've got a little bit of reading done. I've not got anywhere near as much reading done as I'd hoped, but that is always the way on holiday. I come full of good intentions and then end up snoring the evenings away on the sofa because we've been out all day, and I am apparently old now and cannot hack it. So yes, I did read something last night. I read Not Your Orlando, which is a poetry collection by 3 poets. It was okay. It was a mixed bag. It's all queer, trans poems, non-binary authors, queer authors. And some of it was good, some of it was very moving, and some of it just wasn't my cup of tea. I will talk a little bit more about that when I wrap up Shorty September. But yeah, not on the whole, probably not my cup of tea, apart from 2 or 3 poems in it which I thought actually I really enjoyed, and I got, I could relate to a bit more. So yes, so that's what I read last night, and I did buy some books as well from the Audible sale, but I will tell you about those when I get home, because I think my wife is wanting to get moving now. So yes, so I shall say ta-ra for now, and catch up with you when I'm back in Manchester. Have fun, Baba. Hello folks, it is Friday night. We are home back near Manchester after quite a long day. We had a nice trip to the beach this morning and gave Marv a lovely run around before we left Wales, and then got him back in the car where he was promptly sick. So we had to pull over and clean that up. That was fun. And then we drove back through the national park, through some of our favourite sort of mountain roads, and then on to the main, busy motorways and stuff, and home. So we got home a little while ago, but I have been transferring all of my videos onto the computer, ready for editing up this vlog tomorrow. So great holiday, had a really good time. Weather wasn't the best, but we made the most of it, and that is what matters. We managed to hit 4 mountain summits, or at least I did. I ate 4 ice creams in the week, which is, I think, equals my record, my current record. I've never gone over 4 before, but that is 6 scoops because 2 of them were doubles. So yes, good week for ice cream. Lots of naughty food, lots of pies and things like that. And yeah, just generally a really lovely week. Not much reading done, but as I say, that is always the way. I go with good intentions and it never happens because I'm too tired. I said I would tell you about what I bought in the 2-for-1 sale before I sign off. So predictably, I got 3 new Warhammer books. I got Da Big Daka, which is an orc book about the orcs, by Mike Brooks, which I heard Andrew talk about on It Came From the Page, and I really liked the sound of that. I do like the orcs in Warhammer. They're the kind of the comedy relief. So I've got that. I got The Infinite and the Divine, which is Necron. Necron's part of their lore and history, and that's one that's always touted as a really good one for kind of noobs to Warhammer. I know a little bit of the lore, but as I say, I'm still new to the fiction, and it's meant to be really, really good. So I've got that one, and then I happened upon one called Day of Ascension, which is a Gene Stealer cult story. It's another faction within Warhammer, but that's written by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And I didn't have any clue that Adrian Tchaikovsky had written a Warhammer book. So I had to have that one, of course. If it's Adrian Tchaikovsky, it's going to be good writing, and it gets very good reviews. It's quite a new one, I think. So we'll give that one a go. And then the final thing that I got is not Warhammer. It is, as I mentioned the other night, The Secret of Crickley Hall by James Herbert. I've read a little bit of James Herbert in the past, a long time ago. But this is the one that I never got to, and I do like the sound of it, and I think I might want a bit of a haunted, creepy house story for October when it's spooky season, and I fancy doing a bit more horror for October. So those are the 4 books or 4 audio books that I picked up in the 2-for-1 sale. I have 3 credits left for the rest of the year, which is fine because that's October, November and December, and then I'll renew my subscription and get 12 more credits. So a good use of credits, I think, 2 for 1s. So there we go. That little purchase will end this holiday vlog. I am now going to go and crash out on the sofa before getting up early tomorrow to take the dog out and then edit this damn thing together, because I think it's going to take a little while. So thank you very much for watching, folks. As always, do drop your thoughts in the comments below. It's always lovely to hear from you. I will be back possibly on Tuesday if I get a chance to film a tag video. I have got a bit of a backlog of tags, so I do want to try and get some of those, get through some of those. But from me, for now, that's ta-ra.